Hello guys, I'm on day 4 of my water fasting at the end of day 4, and I decided to do a video that details what happens between day 1 to 4 on the water fasting diet. So in case you want to go on the water fasting diet and you want to know what to expect, then stay tuned. Welcome to this channel. If you're new here, I would love to have you subscribe. We discuss family topics, health topics, electric cars, and this sort of things. So you can just hit this button here to subscribe, and then you don't miss any of our new videos. So I have been actually really fat a few years ago, and I have tried all sorts of diets to lose weight, and I haven't found anything that worked for me except for calorie counting, with which I lost about 20 kilos, which is about 45 pounds. And then I got to a good level, but I still wanted to go more down in weight. And then the calorie counting wasn't working anymore. And then I found water fasting and the ketogenic diet. And I love this diet, and I've been on it since I found it. It's been 3-4 months now. This is the second time that I water fast. I was thinking I would share my experience between 1 and the 4th day, because there's a lot of videos on the internet that make it seem like water fasting is a really cool thing, and I wanted to tell you the real story of how it actually is to do water fasting. First of all, I do think that water fasting is a fantastic thing, but it is quite a tough thing. I wouldn't absolutely recommend it to anyone, and it can be also quite dangerous. So I would only recommend that you do it if you really want to do it. I don't think that you can get anything out of it that you cannot get with a longer period of being on a good diet or doing other detoxifying actions. So really the only thing that you get out of it is very fast detox on your body and very fast weight loss. And then I think that there is another mistake that a lot of people make, is that they don't do it long enough to get a long-lasting result. And then you get this myth that, yeah, if you lose weight really fast, it comes straight back, which is true if you don't do it long enough. For example, just to tell you what I mean, it takes for the body about 2 days to clear out all the food that is in it, meaning that you will lose weight in the first 2 days, but the weight that you lose is actually the food that has been stored in your intestines and this kind of stuff. So if you break your water fast diet after 2 days, guess what? You're gonna go back to the exact same weight, because you will just start eating food, and then your intestines will fill up with food, and then you're back to where you began. And then on day 4 is when, or around day 4 is when your body goes into the state called ketosis. And that's when your body really starts basically burning your fat to use as its own energy. And until day 4, if you have not already been on a ketogenic diet, you're not really losing weight. So from day 4 to, let's say, day 7-8 is when, like, if you would do it to 7-8 days, that's when I believe you would get a lasting result. And if you go and you break the diet, then you wouldn't go back to the same weight where you were. And obviously, if you do this water fasting and then you go back to the same crappy diet that you were on, you will go back eventually. It will just take you longer to the same weight that you were. But when you do water fasting, your body completely resets. So it is actually very easy to change your diet and adjust it. And in my case, I did water fasting, and then from water fasting I went on to being a keto, like onto the ketogenic diet, and it was a very easy transition, and I really recommend for you guys also to do the same. So enough of this talking, let's cut to the chase, and let's begin with the days. So basically on day 1 is quite a tough day. I've done, as I said, water fasting 2 times, and both times it was a tough day, but the second time it was a lot easier than the first time. It might also have to do with the fact that I ate a lot just before I started the diet. I had my 10 years wedding anniversary with my wife. We ate a lot, so I don't know, it felt actually really good to be on the first day. And there is one more thing that I really want to stress here, is that somehow when you do the water fasting, you will not be hungry. Like, to understand this, I think you really have to do the water fasting and experience it for yourself, because there is actually a very big difference between not eating anything and eating very little. When you're not eating anything, it's like your body is somehow in another mode, and it's not really hungry either. but as soon as you eat very little thing, then it starts up your digestive functions and your digestive systems, and then you will be craving hungry. So if you would take a day with no food at all, and then you would compare that to taking a day with eating a little bit of strawberry on, you would die from hunger just because you ate that little strawberry. And when you ate nothing, it's like, it's just another day. But what makes it really bad on the first day, I think, is that you will miss the routine of eating food. Your stomach will be empty, and this is not a feeling that you're used to. It's very unusual. Like if you haven't been on water fasting, it's like you will not be hungry. This it's very hard to explain on a video. I really think that this is something that you have to experience yourself. But you will miss something. It will be very weird and tough on the first day. Now then, on the second day, that will be the hardest day, and that's the day when you might feel hunger, might not feel hunger, but then the diet really starts to kick in, and your body will really start asking like, okay, come on dude, I burnt everything that is like inside me, I used everything, cleaned everything out, I'm ready for food. You will not be giving any food to your body, so that one will be a very, very tough day. And it's like, that's the day when you're the closest to hunger, but you're not hungry. But if you're like, obviously if you look or see people that are eating food, for example, in my family, my wife made this super juicy hamburger with ketchup and this beautiful smell, and I was walking by it and it felt like being shot in the head or something, but it wasn't hunger, it was more like the not being able to have food and the smell, and it is really, really a weird feeling. And definitely day 2 is the toughest day. And then you have day 3. On day 3, it's less tough than day 2, but it could be the same or even maybe a bit more or a bit less tough than day 1. This is when your body is still like telling you like, please eat something, I'm really hungry. But it's like starting to go into this like, okay, we're fasting, and you know, you're starting to get into the routine of it. You're still very much missing food, but you're not hungry. Again, I know I said it many times. It's like somehow you miss like the habit of eating or the routine of, I mean, one thing that I noticed being on this water fasting is actually how much time there is in the day, like how much time you actually waste being worried about what you're going to eat, making your food and all this kind of stuff, and like somehow your day will be very hollow in a way. But if you make it through day 3, then you arrive on day 4 and you will experience something very interesting. On day 4, your body should go into ketosis, and for example, when this happened to me, it was a very unbelievable feeling. Like I got this feeling that I became super alert, and I suddenly had this like surge of energy, total no hunger at all. And it was just a very, very light feeling. It was almost like being drunk, but not, it was something. Also, it's impossible to describe on a video. You have to experience it for yourself. And there is a very scientific explanation for it. It's because when this point hits, your body starts to realize you're not going to eat, and it switches into what is called ketosis. And ketosis simply means that your body is basically burning your own fat and making that into ketones, which is actually energy, which your body is using now instead of glucose, which you normally get from carbohydrates when you're not water fasting and you're not on a ketogenic diet. And the thing is that the ketones, they carry a lot more oxygen per unit as opposed to glucose, which is sugar-based energy. So that means that a lot more oxygen is going into your brain. So then somehow your mind becomes like really clear, and that's why you get this alertness, and it's really, really a special feeling. And as I said, impossible to describe. I think you have to live that. And if you're going to do water fasting, I really strongly recommend that you last until this point comes, because this is like a win. And then when you end your diet on this win, you will have like this very good feeling about water fasting, as opposed to ending in the middle of day 2 when you feel like you're dying. And after day 4, I'm at the end of day 4 now. Like after day 4, it should be a bit worse every day. And what I have seen, this I didn't experience myself, but what I have seen on videos, that after day 14, like the diet starts to become quite tough and you will really start to have a lack of energy. And it is definitely not something that I want to experience. Like I'm doing water fasting obviously to lose weight, but also to have like a good experience with my body. So I'm going to stop when I feel like stopping, but I'm very happy that I did this 4 days. So basically, this is what you can expect on your first 1 to 4 days. I really hope that this gave you some extra information. I'm not gonna tell you to do water fasting because I really think that you should do it if you really want to do it. It's quite a tough thing and it can be potentially dangerous. So read about it and watch a lot of videos about other people and see what they have done that made it successful. Let me know in the comments what you thought. I also want to mention that me and my wife have a web shop to this channel that has some very cool stuff, and we are soon going to open it. It's in the very beginning phase. It would be awesome if you would check it out. I put a link here and it obviously supports the channel if you buy anything from there. And I'm very thankful that you have watched this far. If you watched to the end of the video, I really hope it gave you something. And I will see you in the next video. I'm going to be making a few videos about water fasting, so just stay tuned. And comments, let me know what you think or what you want to know about. Ciao, ciao.